This is For the Culture podcast brought to you by Kulture Klub Collaborative. Kulture Klub Collaborative is a nonprofit arts organization serving youth experiencing homelessness ages 16 to 24.
Welcome. You are now tuning in to For the Culture. I am your host, Dez. I got the crew here with me today. Who's with me?
Hi, I am Sadiqa Shabazz. I'm here as Dez's co-host.
Hi, I'm Jazzy Ray, but everybody call me Jazz for short.
I'm Maya.
You got your boy Vaughn, 1152.
And that is the crew today, guys. We're going to start how we always start in our current events, what's going on locally, nationally, and around the world. Starting off today, guys, this isn't my favorite kind of topic to be talking about, but we are going to be speaking on Sonia Macy today and the situation that happened with the Illinois Police Department, guys. So body cam footage showing Illinois police fatally shooting Sonia Macy, a 36-year-old black woman who actually made the call for help. There's a 36-minute video released via Illinois State Police, which includes the footage from both of the police officers present that day. And man, this body cam footage is a little bit crazy, to be honest with you, but the best way I could break it down is that after she had made that call, two police officers came and pulled up, Deputy Sean Grayson and another deputy. They said they spoke calmly with Macy in her home when she began to walk towards her stove and turn up a pot of boiling water. And they said she soon picks up the pot of water. And Sean Grayson, the police officer, spoke calmly with Macy and kind of told her to put the pot of water down. And she says, in her words, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And the officer responds kind of saying like, like, what are you talking about? And after that, he says, you better effing not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you in the effing face. Officer Grayson says. Then he draws his firearm and points it at her. And after that, she ducks and she says, "I'm sorry," while still kind of lifting the pot. Doesn't throw it or anything like that. He screams out, "Drop the effing pot." Both of them are yelling at her. 3 shots are heard after that. And moments after that, he says to the other officer, "Dude, I'm not taking effing boiling water to the effing head." And yeah, how do we feel about a situation like that, guys?
I'll let you go first.
Did anybody see the video, first of all?
I saved the video. Honestly, what made me mad was like, yeah, you told her to get the boiling pot of water off the stove. Fine, so be it.
Right.
But then it went from that to her saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Now, everybody on TikTok, including Facebook, and including a lot of celebrities on Twitter, was like, if somebody is saying that, that's not an actual threat. Now, they can see, and I can see, if she was to throw the boiling pot water on you, then yeah, that's when you like, hey, look, like, boom. But if she's doing what y'all tell her to do, and then also respecting y'all, then also saying, "I'm sorry," but you steady putting the gun towards her head, now it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna die or I'm gonna stay alive. And then went from the first option, she got shot in the flipping face because of the simple fact that she thought that something was gonna happen when it actually turned out to be true. And then not only that, it's like now she left behind a daughter, son, grandparents, brothers and sisters, and all that. And so her daughter actually spoke out about the situation because she was like, she didn't answer her mom's phone call. And so when she didn't answer her mom's phone call, not even 30 minutes prior, it was to the point where she found out the news from her dad. That's how the kids find out behind the whole situation. So my input on this is like, this is exactly why we don't trust police at all. Because we could call you for one particular thing that's drastic or try to make sure that we're safe or anything. Y'all could turn that into flip that and try to kill us about something that's not even accurate right now. So right now it's just not accurate for me to even feel sorry for the police department in Illinois, which I'm currently from. Like, it's not accurate for me to feel sorry for them. But I do want to shout out to Sonia and Macy's family about the death, because for one, y'all don't deserve to actually lose someone that was way more caring, nurturing, always making sure people was fine in the neighborhood, and also take care of her responsibilities and duties. And so that's really my input on it.
Yeah. Shadiga?
No, I think Ron has something to say.
Nah, I had really, cause when is this gonna stop? When is the police gonna stop drawing guns for no reason on us when we have nothing, weapon materialized? This is going
Exactly.
This is going on way too long enough. George Floyd got killed.
Breonna Taylor got killed.
Like, when is this gonna stop? When are y'all gonna stop doing this? Like, this is going on long enough. After George Floyd got killed, the whole city got terrorized. When are we gonna, when are y'all gonna stop? Because this is going on way too long enough. Rodney King, all these people that lost their lives to gun violence. This is tragic. I'm sorry, but this pisses. Oh, well, I'm just saying, but he still got beat on like
But
that.
he did get beat on
I'm just
for
saying.
no reason. No, I understand what you're saying, and I completely 100% agree. I think it's absolutely absurd that this woman who called the police for her own protection goes and gets shot and killed. And I understand that no one wants to get hit with a pot of boiling water. Who wants to do that? But there's a way to disarm someone without murdering them.
Facts.
You know, and this is what they're supposed to be trained in. And it is exhausting having to tell people that we matter, having to tell the police that we matter. It's exhausting to always be afraid, even for a simple traffic stop where you can also get murdered, which time has told and has showed us, like Philando Castile and all, you know. It's like, it's exhausting, and we're tired of it, and we're tired being murdered and hunted down and shot and being told we're woke because we want our lives to matter just as much as everybody else's. And I completely agree with you, Vaughn. Like, it's exhausting. And when will it stop? And rioting isn't doing anything. No one's passing any laws. So how extreme do we have to go before it's like, no, you need to hear us and really take us seriously? Right. It can't be like, oh, let me put something on our website to show that Black Lives Matter, or let me now just have a couple Black-owned businesses start and make Juneteenth a holiday. We're not asking for all. Well, we are asking for all of that. But what we also want here is equity. We want to show that our lives are just as important as anybody else, because guaranteed, if it was somebody else, if it was even like if it was somebody else, especially if it was a white person, it definitely would not have gone that way.
Facts.
And it's exhausting.
I just think it's crazy because, like, in the video, the way the officer approached the whole situation was just not it.
It was fire.
And then it's the fact of, after he shot him, respect goes to his partner, because his partner was actually trying to help.
Literally.
But the fact that he told his partner there's no point of helping because she's already dead.
Like, who says that?
Like, your partner's sitting here trying to help the situation of what you caused.
And
you're just sitting there like, oh no, there's no point of doing anything anymore. Like, what made you even say that after the fact of realizing you shot someone?
Like, what was going through your head when you were just like, okay, I'm gonna shoot her and just get away with it?
So
like,
just say that, oh, she's shot in the head, there's no point of helping.
Right, and that would make me mad too, because it's like, she's a mother of 2 kids. I'm a mother of 2 kids. Because I'd be darned if I get shot in the head just because of something that's not even a danger risk, and you not taking the extra precaution to do something. It just not common sense for you to. There's no, and what I'm trying to say is, there's no point in you being a police officer if you're not going to take your job seriously.
Yeah, but it seems like that doesn't even matter. What are you about to say, Vaughn?
Nothing else. I was just gonna wrap it up, but And I also blame the justice system too, because it's wicked. I
Yeah.
blame the justice system too. Y'all giving these police officers 11 and a half years. Y'all not even trying to give these people life after it's killing another person. But when we kill somebody, it's life behind bars. It's life behind everything that we do.
Death sentence or something.
Death sentence. But everybody else can just get away with it and sit there and serve their life, and then come back to work in the field again. That is outrageous.
I agree.
Keeping it current.
All right, y'all, we're going to move on and switch gears a bit. President Joe Biden announced that he will end his presidential re-election campaign, bringing an abrupt and humbling conclusion to the half-century-long political career, just less than 4 months before Election Day. He backed Vice President Kamala Harris to replace him as the Democratic nominee. Biden tweeted, "While it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." And Kamala says, "I am honored to have the president's endorsement, and my intention is to earn and win this nomination. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite the nation to defeat Donald Trump and his Extreme Project 2025 agenda." Now, question real quick before I just wrap this up. Do y'all know what Project 2025 is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I read on
Well,
it.
let me just...
and I don't agree with it.
I hate it.
Okay, so these are just a few things. So Project 2025 is an ultra-conservative agenda. And when I say ultra-conservative, I want you to think in the terms of like Handmaid's Tale. If you haven't seen it, please do. So it comes from the Heritage Foundation, which is an ultra-conservative think tank. It's a 920-page document or blueprint on how America should be ran. Some of the things in the document is about that they mention is criminalizing pornography, having stricter laws on abortion, deploying the military to remove non-citizens, giving police immunity, it gives the president almost complete control over the government, amongst other things. So those are just some of the highlights of it. There's so much more that goes into it. Obviously, they want to, in any type of EDI that's happening around the United States, they want to do, I believe, what is called choice.
One of them was like cut Medicare and health insurance
And
stuff.
also cut
And-
benefits, and also for childcare too while you at it.
And cut some of the education funding in the education sector as well. And then also having this thing called like a choice school, which means that people can choose to send their kids to like private schools and to religious schools and have those be the main schools, which means who can afford those schools, who's accepted at those schools, and just think about what'll happen to all the public schools and things like that, assuming that, the elite, for lack of a better word, socioeconomical elite will be able to go to these religious and private schools, which then would lead to less funding to public schools, which are already at a crisis of where we are today. These are people from the Heritage Foundation who were in his administration close to him in starting it, and he was actually one of the folks who wanted them to start this 2 years ago. And now that he sees what has happened, and what they say, and everyone is like poo-pooing it, now he's trying to distance himself away from it. But it is really, and this is something that they say will happen if Trump does become president. So it hinges on that. So what are your thoughts, Kamala, Biden, Trump, where we are in society today?
For the most part of what I'm hearing, why cutting down health insurance and getting rid of that? We kind of need that stuff in society to this day. Then also changing public schools and the funding. No, that's
backwards.
That is all backwards. No, I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's very a white supremacist doctrine, to be perfectly honest. And this isn't mincing words. This isn't like giving my opinion. It is very, very that. And it's also extremely conservative. We already have limitations in some states on abortion, and they want to even further that strictness, meaning at the moment, even some states who deem abortion as being illegal, they will still let you have it if it's like around incest or rape. Well, they're trying to eliminate that. They're like, you have to have this kid no matter what. Plus, they want to have a baby boom anyway, and so they're going to try to encourage people to have babies, because less and less people are having babies these days, because look at the society we live in. Look how expensive it is just to live as a single person on your own. And people are choosing other things. You know, having that whole family dynamic isn't as attractive as it was even 10, 15, 20 years ago. So people, you know, and so they want to try to encourage that, and, you know, have more babies, and, you know, really, really control society, the population who's having the kids, and things like that as well.
I feel like abortion right there, this is their bodies. They should choose how they feel about theirs. And also, most of these fathers, I'm not saying all fathers, but most of the fathers are gonna disappear and not even try to take care of the child that y'all two made, or whatever happened. Whatever happened. It either, I'm not gonna get into the rest, but this should be her body. This is how she should feel. Because why would I want to be a single mother needing some help? Nobody will help me. I have to do everything on my own. Have to feed my child, take my child to school, and then become homeless, and nobody's helping. Nobody will help. The society won't help. Social Security ain't helping out. None of this stuff isn't happening. They should actually feel that.
Okay.
No, it's true though. It's true, because it's
true.
like,
It's
yes,
true.
we want people to have kids and da-da-da. That's what they're saying, but they're also not giving any support, like you said, behind those folks who are, if they're cutting like food stamps and they're cutting WIC and things like that, you know. So how is anyone going to rise out of poverty to really give your child the life that they deserve to have if there's no way out? And this Project 2025 is going to be something that's really going to put a damper on that. It's really going to change progress. And it's also talking about giving the president even more power, eliminating some of the branches of our government, which means things in the Constitution will have to also change. And then it could also lead to having more than just an 8-year career. It could lead to even more than that, in where he's the president until he dies, essentially, which is something that there's talk about happening, and Trump has let a few things slip regarding that and changing that for the president as well.
I feel like with the school systems, like, you gotta think, how is that gonna affect the youth? Because a lot of kids are starting to go back to school, and if it becomes private, a lot of neighborhoods aren't gonna be able to provide for that. They're not going to be able to keep up with the payments for private schools.
True.
And people are already fighting off of check by check. So how is that going to be able to work with no financial aid?
I think they only have a certain type of people in mind who this is supposed to help and support, and it's not including everybody. I'll tell you that right now. Which is why people have to get out there and vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but everyone should know everything about their candidates as much as possible, not just on this level of the presidency, but also in your local government, knowing who to vote for as well, and you know what they stand on, because it's highly important, because these things matter, and these things will definitely change. If you have anybody in your local government that's supporting Project 2025, my goodness, how that's going to change immediately. You know, the things with the presidency, that'll trickle down, and a lot of those things don't happen as fast as what happens right here in our own city government. So that's something to just think about. But now we do have a Black woman running for president, which we've had before a few times, but it looks like there's a good chance for her to actually win. So we'll see.
Keeping it current. Let's see what we got here today, guys. Jersey Shore's town's homeless encampment may be close to shutting down after the property manager filed court papers to force them out located behind the parking lot of ShopRite and Zen Leaf Dispensary along Route 66 in Neptune Township, New Jersey. The homeless encampment is about a 32-acre woods and it's been there for about a decade now. And the property owner has filed some papers to get them kicked out. How are we feeling about that?
These people are becoming displaced in a lot of in a lot of these cases. There might be some mental health issues, who knows, or maybe they're just folks who can't get the job. There's so many barriers that could happen, and it's like, all right, so you don't want these people behind your shop, fine. I don't want people just living behind my house either. But what's going to happen now with these folks? Are they going to be put into a home or somewhere where there's security and safety? And that's the issue that I have. It's like you can't just kick people out and just where's it going to go?
You're going to put them on a bus and send them to another city and make another city deal with them.
And that's really sad.
For it to almost be illegal for you to be homeless. So now they're going to beat you up and throw you in jail for being homeless. And it's like, I don't know what the world has come to, but it's just starting to get a little insane.
And all this money that they are sending to help out folks, like just folks in the wars across the United States, and the money that they have like going towards military and militarizing the police and things like that. These are all funds, and you get the top 5 Americans, richest Americans, people, organizations, corporations, whatever you want to call them, together. They can wipe out the whole homeless situation. Honestly. And really find resources, and the cities can really get the resources and the funding to help this out. You know how many abandoned buildings we have in this city, in Minneapolis alone?
I've been looking at that too.
Sadika, I agree with that, because I just literally within the past 2 weeks there was so many encampments over south that got evacuated.
Yeah.
Destroyed. Like, it was so many homeless people just walking around not knowing what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have all this funding from the state, housing programs, but yet you guys aren't fully providing it to them.
Yeah.
You're not fully telling them, well, there's housing programs where you can go do this and you can get this help.
And you know how many jobs that can also be created by turning these abandoned buildings and homes into low income or even free housing to help people get onto their feet, to get jobs, and how many jobs can be created just managing those things, So it's different if folks are just like, oh, I don't want to do it because I don't want to do it. That's different. But those who actually need it and who actually want to change in their lives, that is something that can be accomplished, and with the support of the government and support in doing what they honestly, I feel, should be doing. They're here for the people, but you're not doing anything for the people.
Yeah, that's facts. I wish that wasn't the case. Keeping it current?
Keeping it current. What you got for us, Vaughn? All right, look at y'all. So I just want to say we're changing the tone. Y'all know Vaughn, he's been with us for the last several months, and so this is your first time doing like a whole segment, a little feature on our little podcast. So come on, y'all.
Hey, I appreciate that. This is gratitude. But we got Team USA in the building. Let's give it up. USA! 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 Yes, sir. You know what it is, man. Appreciate the win from South Sudan. Team USA pulled out it was a good victory for us yesterday. Thank you. But we got Captain America in the building on July 26, 2024. Stephen Curry, the best three-point shooter, the most famous American Olympic. This is the year who nominated LeBron for being a flag bearer at the 2024 Olympic in Paris. And Curry was the one to do it and broke it to the team in front of the USA men's basketball team. LeBron is the third basketball player and first men's basketball player to be a flag bearer for the United States, and he will be joined by an American woman tennis, Coco Gauff, who was announced as a flag bearer on Wednesday. Gauff, making her Olympic debut in Paris, is the first tennis player to serve as the United States flag bearer at the opening ceremony. So guys, how do you feel about this?
Oh, I love it. I love it. What I love about the flag bearers, because I watched the whole opening ceremonies for the Olympics, and it is so
It
camp.
was so nice.
And it was beautiful, and it was trippy, and it was just
Did you guys
really
see
cool.
Snoop Dogg there?
Yeah.
He's doing who?
Yeah.
Man.
Everything. Yes.
I ain't gonna let Snoop Dogg snap with that though.
Yes. But what I really appreciate learning though is that it's not like the coach gets to choose who gets to bear the flag, which is really great. It's the team that gets to choose, and so to be nominated and chosen amongst your peers, how wonderful is that, and to have that honor. And if y'all don't know, we're the second largest group to bring folks to the Olympics, for our players. So it's over 500 Americans in Paris competing in all the categories, in Paris. And actually Paris, they are the number one. They have almost 600 people competing. I know, and it's really great. It's really cool. The Olympics is really cool. I like it.
Yeah, I love the Olympics, but I kind of only pay attention to like the sports that I care about.
Same.
And for me, basketball is a really big one.
Most definitely.
I think this is a real honor to LeBron. I know he's on his way out in his career, but to see that he came through in the clutch for a number of games recently in the Olympics, and it's kind of showing like his true character as like King James, So I don't know. It's just for sports fans right now, this is something to just really just look around and be like, man, we got some good athletes coming out the country.
Yeah.
But it'll be a sad day when he retires for everybody. But
Curry too,
Ooh,
man.
I love Curry. I'm crying for Curry.
But listen here, at 39 years old, no 39-year-old should be doing this in the Olympics. But James has proven to y'all he can do it by eating healthy, staying healthy throughout the whole game. Y'all need to put some respect on this man's name. He has a Hall of Fame career, and y'all just have to accept it. All this Michael Jordan and LeBron comparison, I don't know what to say about it. But, hey, LeBron's my GOAT in my generation, and we going to keep it there.
Hold.
Crown the king. That's all I'm going to say. Crown him.
No. What you ain't going to sit here and do is disrespect Michael Jordan and Kobe. No,
Hey, I'm not disrespecting Michael
That's what
Jordan. I'm not disrespecting.
I don't
I
think he's
respect.
disrespecting
I took
him.
that as a.
I don't think he's
disrespecting nobody.
But to be perfectly honest, let's be perfectly honest though. You do have to think about these things in generations.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I was growing up, yes, it was all about Michael Jordan. But y'all growing up, it's all about LeBron. And put some respect on his name. Like, yes, I think he deserves all the accolades because not only is he a great basketball player, but he's a great human being, and his philanthropy and what he does for people. Like, I just think he's an outstanding, like, human being, period. So, yeah, I'm with you on that line.
And you got also son. He's playing with his son in the NBA, the first.
Yeah.
Like
He
y'all
the first
gotta
one to
give
play
him.
with
How
his son.
beautiful is
That is a beautiful
That's
thing, and
nice.
everybody
That's
just hating
nice.
on his son. You gotta give him
That's
some
nice.
time to develop. Y'all
Let
hating
him
on
cook.
everybody's
Let
hating
that
on
boy cook.
Angel Reese's success, Caitlin Clark's success, and Bronny James' success. They made it. They paid their wave in. It's not because he has a father. He plays in the NBA. He didn't. He wanted this to happen. He wanted to play with his son.
Yeah, and even if that was an extra boost that his dad was in there, but who's not wanting to make things better and easier for their kids? And really, what's going to show is when he gets on that court and how he plays. You can only say if you can actually play, and I don't think they're just going to be like, yeah, you're LeBron's son. You're naturally ingrained to play basketball. It's not even like that. Right. So I'm sure he's put in the work to get to where he is as well. And does it help to have LeBron's name? Yes, but also is that a hindrance? Yes, because you're going to get more heat. People are going to like down you more. People are going to compare you to him all the time. And so that's going to be hard for him as well.
You just got to block out the noise like he did. And we got to remember, James grew up without a father. He made his own way through his life, even with a struggling mother. He found the way. He was great at football, but he chose basketball. But I wanted to see how he would do in the NFL playing with the Eagles.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Hey, Eagles fan all day.
But congratulations to like all those teams out there in the Olympics. No matter what, whether you win, lose, you're an Olympian, and
Yeah.
that's something that you can always have on your mantle, and I think that's beautiful.
Gold medal for Team USA. We're doing it. We're bringing it home from Paris.
Yes, USA,
USA, USA, USA.
Guys, good conversation, you guys. That is our current events for today. We will be right back with our song of the day, which will always be an MN artist. You guys, right here on For the Culture, we will be right back. Welcome back to For the Culture.
For the Culture
podcast.
You can find that song on all streaming platforms. Guys, go turn them up. And now we come to the portion of the podcast where we ask our question of the day. Sidika, can you take it off? What is our question of the day today?
All right, our question of the day today is, what is some advice that you live by now, and what advice do you give now? Anybody want to kick us off? You can start with the first half. What is some advice that you live by now?
I mean, I talk to a lot of older people myself, so it's like I took a lot of advice, took a lot of criticism. So one of my favorite ones was, when things go left, nobody's really gonna be there. And I learned that not the hard way, but understanding what that meant. And also,
wait, can you expound on that a bit more for me?
like,
Explain a little bit more.
What I mean by that is, like, say if you're doing something like that you're not supposed to be doing, and everybody's around you, they're gonna leave you right there and then. They're not gonna save you. They're gonna go the other way, and you're on your own, kid. So it's like it's that. So
Basically saying, like, don't
hang
do the
with-
dirt.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, I like that.
and,
I really like that. It does seem like there's no loyalty to pretty much anything.
yeah.
Like if you do wrong, you would think you would want somebody to be at least having your back. Like, yeah, you did wrong. I don't want you to applaud me for doing wrong, but don't completely leave me and
Yeah, just
outcast.
throwing it
Like,
away.
yeah,
Mhm.
because it seems like people are like, I don't agree with your actions, and I don't want people to think that I agree with your actions.
Mhm.
So instead of just wording that and voicing my opinion, people are just like, I ain't gonna associate with you. I don't want a picture next to you.
But it's
I
not
don't wanna
even
be
that.
sitting
It's
at
not
home with
even.
you.
It's not even just that. Like, just hearing what Vaughn was saying was that, people, when you go left. Well, say it one more time.
like, when things go left, ain't nobody gonna be there.
Right.
Yeah.
So even like he said, if those are people who going left with you, and then they decided, oh, let me go this way. That's so it's not even. It's like. I think it's like a combination of both. So it's not just like, oh, I don't want to associate with it. It's like, no, you were here with me, but now you're turning against me.
Right.
As opposed to if we doing it all the way together.
Right.
So that's some good advice. I like how we just took over your thing. Sorry about that. It was good though.
You done gave us a whole new
I just want to get y'all thinking. And like, when I tell the youth, like, when I go to schools, I'll be sometimes talking at public schools. I'll be like, this is your life. This is how you want to live. You can either be the nerd kid and just stay out the streets, or you can be in the streets and and people, end up either jail or dead. It's one or the other.
I think that's great. I love that you go to different schools and like talk with the youth and stuff. I think that's really great.
Each one teach one.
Hey,
Each one teach one. Hopefully, I'll reach one.
hey, I like that.
That's nice.
I like
That's
that. I'm just dropping bars all day today.
Okay, go ahead and draw some more words.
I ain't gonna lie. It's a quote I go by from a famous rapper, Meek Mill.
Oh Lord.
It
Yeah.
says, if you gotta take it L, take it with your head up, chest out.
Nice. I like that.
I go by that because it's like a lot of people, we take a lot of L's throughout our life, but it's like we gotta move on from it. We can't just sit there and be in grief the whole time. It's like, okay, we learned a lesson, now we gotta keep going. And maybe try not to do that thing again, that problem again, or put yourself in that situation again. So yeah, that's a quote I live by.
Nice.
What's the question of the day? What's some advice you live by?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What is some advice that you live by now, and what advice do you give now?
Okay. Some advice I live by now is go hard or go home.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've reached a point in my life where building like piece by piece and slowly getting there is what got me to a point where I can say like go hard or go home. You know, I wouldn't suggest it for anybody who's like just starting out or at a point where, you know what I mean, like they feel like they don't have much to lose because they haven't built anything. I'm kind of at a point where it's like I feel like in order to get to that next point, I have to go hard, go home. Like I have to risk everything. So yeah, just kind of just being in the moment and realizing like, yeah, you kind of got to go big. You don't want to do this small at all. So the way I want to leave my mark is so big to the point where I know I can't have any ceilings on anything I want to do. I just got to do it. So yeah, just go hard or go home. So
I have one from Lion King. Being brave doesn't mean you go looking for trouble. So what he means by that is, yeah, you're brave about, standing up for yourself and also being confident with it, but don't take it as far as in you're gonna do the extra mile just to prove a point, just to get yourself in trouble with a certain amount of people that's gonna continuously try to pick on you or certain things like that. And so for me, I do brave things when it comes down to sacrificing for me and my kids, but I don't go to the extent where I know it's gonna get me in jail or in prison to not be able to see my kids. So I take that to heed.
Nice. One of the things that I try my hardest to live by, because sometimes you do get that great advice and you're like, yes, and then sometimes it's hard. But 90-10, life is 90-10.
Yeah.
90% of life is what happens to you. 10% is how you react to it. And I try to remember that, and try to remember that 10% of like, how am I going to react to this situation? Some things are out of my control, and it's up to me to either make it worse or to leave it or to make it better or whatever it may be. So I always try to keep that in mind about whatever is happening in my life. And any advice that I give, I give a lot of advice. Is there any like singular advice that I give? I don't know if I give. I think the main thing I like people to know is that, especially from close to them or what have you, that it's like you're supported.
Yeah.
You've got a support system here, and you've got people here. You've got someone in me, and you've got like a whole fleet of people, if you really think about it, that's here to support you. So you're not alone.
I agree with that. I want to touch base on that one because my aunt used to tell me that too back home in Chicago. It's not what you do, but it's how you do it, if that kind of makes sense. And so my advice that I give to people that I used to be the age of 19 or 17 or 18 or going so forth, I was getting like, hey, if you got people that's not willing to put in the same effort that you're doing as a friend or a family or a coworker, then hey, it's time for you to separate, because at the end of the day, it's all about teamwork, but if that person is slacking, there's no point in you staying in that circle if that person's not willing to put in more effort like you're doing, if that makes sense.
It does. It's about reciprocation, right? Being in relationships, I used to be a person who always said yes to everyone.
Yeah.
And sit around and wait for them to say yes to me.
Yeah.
Wait for whatever I put in, wait for it to come back to me, because it's gonna come back. 'Cause I'm doing it, right? And I realized that every relationship, no matter on what level, needs to be reciprocal. So if I'm putting in, you need to also put in. It doesn't have to be exactly what I'm putting in. It can come in different ways. You have to meet people where they are. But if I feel like it's just me here, and you only call on me if you need something from me. And and that's the only time I see you or hear from you. You know, if I agree to that's the type of relationship it is, because maybe there's something I'm also getting out of it. Maybe there's some fun, or maybe there's an escape. I have no idea. But the thing is that I'm not going to put in anything more than what I'm going to get back.
Facts.
And that's in every relationship, friends, family.
Everybody.
It should be reciprocated. You should be getting something from me just like I'm getting something from you.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
There's another advice that I was told before. Don't give advice until you receive advice.
Facts.
Ooh, tell me more about that.
Please explain.
So basically, I was listening to my cousin. My cousin got into a heated argument. This is when my cousin DJ got married, and late at night, everybody's chilling. My cousin get into it, and
speak more in the mic. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. Let me speak more of that. Like, my cousins and them had a little disagreement, and he ended up saying that, and I was in my head thinking to myself, like, what does that mean? So basically, it was more like, you can give that person advice, but you can't give it to somebody else unless they can't receive it, because you could give somebody advice, but they're not gonna take that criticism of how you want to see it, but they're gonna bypass that. That's what he really meant by that.
Yeah. Oh, and I agree with that, because some people just aren't ready for certain
The harsh
things.
truth. Either.
I'm not ready at certain, I've been not ready for taking certain advice. There's been so many times when someone says something, I'm like, ugh, whatever. It's not me. Oh, that's not me. And then later on, I'm like, wait, no, that's me. So, but no, I completely agree. Like, some people just aren't ready, and some people actually take the advice as offense, because maybe they feel some type of shame of them not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I agree with that.
Facts. But go ahead and ask yourself this question at home or at work, in case y'all get on break and be bored.
Right. So you go ahead and repeat that question one more time.
So question of the day. What is some advice that you live by now, and what advice do you give now?
Ooh. That hits.
That hits home.
That hits.
Right here for the culture.
Right here for USA culture.
We want to highlight awesome businesses in our community each and every episode. We call this selection the Shout Out. And this shout out is Minnesota's 33rd annual festival for fathers and families. Guys, come on out. We got free prize drawings, free lunch boxes, and a moon bounce for the kids, guys. This is all a day of fun celebrating fathers and families. We want to see you guys. It's from 12 all the way to 4 p.m. at the North Commons Park. That is 1801 James Avenue North, Minneapolis, guys. I would love to see you guys there. So let's come out and celebrate fathers and families.
In addition to the shout out, we want to make it a point that when you tune into For the Culture, that we highlight businesses, events, and services that can be important resources for the community overall. We call it the Resource Spotlight. Today, we are shining a spotlight on Move Forward. It's a barrier-free therapy to youth and families. They have services such as housing assistance to young people who are experiencing or at risk for homelessness, housing programming for young adults who are learning how to live on their own, a drop-in center at Eisenhower Community Center for young people ages 15 to 24, and outreach in the community to connect young people to housing and basic need resources. You can give them a call at 952-988-8336, and they are located at Eisenhower Community Center, 1001 Highway 7, Room 237 in Hopkins, Minnesota, 55305. You can also catch them online and go to their website at moveforwardmn.org. That's move, F as in Frank, W, D as in Dan, MN.org. Moveforward.org. Go ahead and get your resources on.